everyone, welcome to Parshazam or Parsha Magic. It's great to be back with you. I hope you've been keeping up with all of our current events. Things have gotten very exciting here in Egypt. There's been 7 plagues already, and in this week's Parsha, we're going to do the last 3 plagues. Now, for our show today, we have back again, we managed to find him, the great Yambrini. Are you there, great Yambrini? Hello.
Romantic! Woohoo! I'm back.
Welcome
Hello.
back.
And I've come to fully join you now in your land because it's also my land, isn't it? Yambrini, Egyptian heritage. I thought I'd stick around for a little bit.
Yeah, I can see we're probably not far from each other. Actually, looks like we have the same background.
I'm just aisle 3 pyramid. That's right. Cashier number 3. Now, that's a little joke from 2021. Look at that! I got a Sefer Torah with me again, and I've got Reish, my raccoon, Reish Lakish. Don't mess with him. Well, I'm very excited to be back here, but I understand I'm only here to perform magic. And in order to perform magic, I'm going to have to bring some magic from the future. Do you mind if I do that?
Yeah, Egyptian magic's not so great. It doesn't cut
Well, don't be harsh, but, you know.
Well, it's nothing compared to the 10 plagues. Let's see what you got.
Yeah, tell me about it. But I want to bring you some magic from the future to tell you about the past. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Well, I say let's start this off by saying L'chaim. It's a Jewish.
Oh, L'chaim, absolutely.
Say L'chaim.
L'chaim. Let's have a little bit of L'chaim. Lovely. Wait a minute. What the? What is? Oh my!
What is going on?
Rebbetzin Hadassah. What is going on?
Oh, I see what's happening. You're in Egypt. Well, you are in Egypt. Tell me, do you have any Egyptian ancestry? Something?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That all makes sense now. You see, when you're in Egypt and there were the 10 plagues happening, the 10 plagues only affected the Egyptians, not the Jews. So we could be drinking the exact same thing, the exact same water from the exact same cup. And the Midrash tells us that I would drink water and you would end up drinking blood, like in the first plague. Can you believe it? Ugh. Now,
Why did I do that again?
not very nice. I tell you, a lot of Egyptians were very upset, not just because they were drinking blood, but you know what, really? A lot of this came from that terrible trait called stubbornness. A lot of this happened because of stubbornness, because of Paro's stubbornness. You know, God came and told him, let the people go. And he said, no, I want them to be my slaves. I mean, come on. He was like going up against God here. So God brought him 1 plague. And you'd think after 1 plague, after all the blood in Egypt, all the water in Egypt turns to blood, he'd get the message. No. 9 more plagues came. 9. There were frogs, there were lice, there were wild animals. The Egyptians lost everything. They lost their food, they lost their animals. I mean, there was complete devastation. He basically destroyed the whole land of Egypt. It actually, you know, this stubbornness of really losing out because you want things your way and you want to be in control, reminds me of an interesting story that happened to some children in America. So this family it was Sunday. They were ready to go to the zoo when we were allowed to go to the zoo, and the zoos were open. And the children, you know how they all go in the house and they say, I'm gonna sit in the front. No, I'm gonna sit in the front. No, I called it first. Bugsy, right? Well, this boy called Andy. He called it first. He said, I'm sitting in the front. And so when his mum came with the car, round with the car because she had to do some shopping for the trip, he was really shocked to see that his brother was sitting in the front seat. He was like, hey, this is not fair. We go by the rules of Bugsy, right? I say, I'm sitting there first. I called it first. I sit there. But his brother was the one who'd gone shopping with the mum and had been actually sitting there. So he felt, well, I'm sitting here now, so maybe, it's my seat to sit here, and it's my, I'll sit there now, and you can sit there on the way back. And his brother Joe was really trying to compromise. He said, I'll sit now on the way to the zoo, and you can sit on the way back. And the mum said, well, if you boys don't work it out, we're not going anywhere, so you better work it out. And she thought that she could see Joe was trying to compromise, and Andy was just stubborn. He said, no. It's my way or the highway. No other way. Just my way.
Did he get lice?
Pardon?
Did he get lice?
No, he didn't get lice. But,
just checking.
You know what happened? His mum said, fine, you don't want to sit in the front. Well, we're going to the zoo as planned. And it'll be such a shame if you miss out on this really exciting day we've been talking about just because you won't give in or you won't give up a little. Because we're saying you can sit in the seat on the way back. Anyway, Andy felt so strongly in his tummy and in his chest that he wanted to have things his way. He said, no, it's going to be my way. And they drove off without him, and he went back home by himself. And at first he felt really good about himself because he won the fight. He won the argument, right? He kept to his point. But when he tried calling his friends, and his friends weren't around, and after he did all his favorite things and read all his favorite books and he had nothing to do, he started feeling a bit sad and was wondering if it really was worth it. If it really was missing a whole day trip to the zoo just because he didn't want to let his brother sit one way to the journey. Isn't that sad? And when everyone came back from his family, he didn't feel so good. I know. What do you think you would have done? What would you have done?
I would have let the rules, follow those rules, and not be stubborn and not stick in the front of the I bet you also he then had to look after the house. Right? Yeah, and there could have been burglars, and he'd have to set up elaborate traps for them. Can you imagine?
I mean, that might be quite fun. But what is really interesting, and it's really hard, it's really tricky, and Paro didn't know this, but I bet you guys at home, you could figure this out. Sometimes it doesn't feel good to do something now, but actually will feel better to do what will happen later will feel better. So it didn't feel good to give in to his brother now, but then if he would have had a whole great day in the zoo.
And he missed a whole day at the zoo.
And instead, he wanted to feel good now by not giving in to his brother and showing them his way. And he ended up spending the rest of the day not feeling so great.
Raish, what do you think about this?
He has a lot to say, your raccoon, Mr. Raish Lakish.
Not impressed.
He's not impressed. What?
Not impressed. That's what he said.
With Para's behaviour.
He's a raccoon of few words. Well, I hope everyone is really paying attention to that very important lesson for life. It's called deferring gratitude. Very posh. But basically, just wait and don't be stubborn, and you'll get what you want in the end. I think we should do a toast to that. What do you think?
Yeah. L'chaim. No more plagues. No more stubbornness. Let's try.
Here, l'chaim.
Oh, what's happened there?
Why is my drink green?
I hope you're not going to drink that. Don't! What are you doing? It's green.
Why is it? What's it doing being green? That doesn't make any sense.
Why are you drinking it?
What the? Hey! There's a very odd. Oh my god. Oh, sorry about that. I think we should just cut. Oh my! I've got frogs going everywhere. I'm going. All right. I'll see you next time. Oh
dear.
Bye, guys. Sorry.
Oh dear. It doesn't look like that was a very good drink to have. Don't remember that happening just like that in the story of Egypt. But we hope you enjoyed our Parshazam and Shabbat Shalom, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.